OnChain. Hey, OnChain revolution, Bitcoin not an illusion. Market recap, then I do a roll call. You're not bullish in the vocal. Look at the price action, yeah, send it to the deck, sell it through the stack. Ordinals OS, too much Bitcoin, gotta go to re. If you end up bearish, gotta put the knee pad. Let me see the comments, look at the fear and greed index. Bridge, look at the chart.
Welcome back to On-Chain Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin and crypto ecosystem. What's up, guys? We have an amazing interview for you guys today. So Odin's been taking the Bitcoin ecosystem by storm, right? So now we're able to use runes in an ICP environment, right? With depositing in and withdrawing out. Bob Bodily has made it seamless to make it feel like, you know, one block. It's so easy, and it's been fun. It's been exciting. It's been the only real big thing right now that people are actually making money on, right? So, and that's the big thing, right? People are going to, you know, go to things that are actually hot and actually have volume. And Odin is that right now, right? So we do know that Bob's building an ecosystem, and it's not just this one product. It's not just Odin.fun. It's going to be Valhalla, right? But now there's builders now that are actually building for Odin and potentially for what comes next with Valhalla. And today we have Snoop Toshi on from Pepodin. Pepodin is awesome. So far, it's been like the only real tool on Odin.fun right now. And we would like, for me, I was able to catch a couple runners with this hits thing. It's this hits, it's like the last 5 minutes, how many buys or sells. And I kind of want Snoop Toshi to kind of break it down for us today and kind of really try to understand what this platform is. It is phenomenal, and we really can't wait to dig into it. So without further ado, bringing my partner here, as always, Mr. Yago B. What's up, buddy?
What's up? What's up,
man? So today we got Snoop Toshi from Pepodin. Pepodin, something we found a few days ago, thanks to Mr. BRC, and we immediately jumped in and was like, "Oh crap! Like this is a big deal."
It is a big deal, and I actually love that Snoop Toshi is the founder of this because, you know, Snoop Toshi is an OG in our space. I mean, we've had him on our show. This will be the third time. You know, he started off with like, you know, this awesome, almost kind of like generative art project that also had like a hardware that had like NVIDIA, I believe, hardware in it as well. Like crazy. Talk about 2023 when we were like, you know, trying to, we were interviewing a lot of artists during that time.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the last time we had him on, him and his team were working on Ordinals OS, which was really cool operating system using, you know, inscribing things and stuff, using the Bitcoin blockchain. And then, you know, I see that he basically saw this opportunity with Odin.fun and said, hey, this is something, you know, product market fit with Odin.fun. You know, they had to get the marketing going, but it seems like liquidity is coming over. And, you know, what an awesome product, an awesome opportunity to put out, you know, Pep Odins, which is an alpha site, right? So it's like the beginnings of something that could be maybe like, you know, like a GMGN minus the swapping part, but like the data, right? Like what's hot, what are people looking at, stuff like that. So I'm excited. I'm ready to jump in with them and really allow him to break things down for us.
Yeah, man. Very excited for it. So without further ado, let's bring in Snoop Toshi from Pepodin. Snoop, welcome back to On-Chain Revolution.
Hey, thank you very much for having me, gentlemen. An absolute pleasure to be here once again.
Yep. Thanks for joining us.
Well, let's kind of jump back to where, you know, we've kind of left off last time. You were building this amazing OS system. I'm curious, any updates on that, and what exactly is it?
Yeah, thank you. So I'd love to touch on both aspects. So the very first time I spoke to you, we're doing some very cool Gen Art. As you astutely mentioned, with some hardware we've been building with NVIDIA. We've been partners with NVIDIA since 2017, and I've been in stealth developing some hardware for quite a few years now. I can now be a little more vocal about it. We've been demonstrating this hardware now for about a year, ever since we heard back from the US Patent Office that we've had a bunch of rock-solid IP granted, so that we now have protected the notion of hot swappable batteries in wearable XR devices, you know, magnetic attachable. It's a whole bunch of IP that is very novel that we discovered and demonstrated through this product that we're now going to be shipping over the next few months. So that product itself has been in development for quite some time. The hardware takes a very long time to build. So in 2023, you saw an early developer kit. We've since updated that developer kit to include an ASIC mining chip, as well as a 2 terabyte SSD. So effectively, it's the world's most powerful Android device, about 8 to 20 times the power of the Switch, depending which model you have. And it runs either Linux or Android, and of course can mine Bitcoin, can run a full Bitcoin node and order client. So very much a Bitcoin native console running an open source operating system that is not beholden to the Googles or the Facebooks or the behemoths of the world that will like to move you one way or another. So it truly is a device born of Web3. So with that device, we wanted to, again, remove friction, get more people on board and to understand what you can do with Bitcoin. And with that, we needed a user interface that was better than Magic Eden or .io as the only way to browse data on a node. And that's where Ordos comes in. So Ordos is an application, an operating system, if you will, that's inscribed onto Bitcoin. And we recently updated it to introduce what's called WebRTC, peer-to-peer communication with no centralized server listening in. Within this, you can go to ordos.io now. You can open up BitChat in the emulators folder or file menu, and 2 of you can do that. One of you will come up with a room name, and you share that room name with your friend or with many friends, and you can all have as long of a chat as you want, with no Google or Facebook or asking you for money after 45 minutes. It's just pure Web3 peer-to-peer communication. It's a wonderful piece of tech. They also have emulators and software and programs and tools and all sorts of other things that help creators create cool shit on Bitcoin. But ultimately, Ordos was the window into looking at data on Bitcoin, and Curve, the hardware, is the hardware that can run the data on Bitcoin. So everything really ties together. So this leads us up to where we're now at with this wonderful Pepodin, this Odin.fun. I saw, having spent far too long in the trenches over the past few months, the state of Solana, yet the itchiness for people wanting to degen. And yet, ever since the Trump token dropped, that fun was sucked out of the space. It was very extracted very quickly after that liquidity had left, and it became basically, it wasn't enjoyable anymore. And this was wonderful timing, because this is like a perfect storm. Because with the downturn we'd seen with Runes, with the downturn that we'd seen on Ordinals, and with various influencers now moving towards promoting other chains and not being as layer 1 max as they may have been, I'm not going to mention any names, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. All of a sudden there was this slight acceptance of maybe everything pure layer 1, maybe it's okay if it's not all pure layer 1, okay guys, if it builds an audience, and gradually people began to wrap their head around this as a multi-chain ecosystem. And what Bob's done so well is he's created the casino, a shitcoin casino backed by Bitcoin, tradable with the speed of runes, with the speed of Sol. And how has he done that? Well, much like a casino, you walk into a casino, you fucking give them your money, and you get a bunch of chips, and you can walk around any table you like, and you can spend those chips, and then when you're done, you take those chips back and you cash them out, and you got your money again. That's what this platform does. You turn out to the platform with your Bitcoin, you give it to the platform, they in turn give you your ICP version of the runes, and then you buy and sell those, and then when you want, you cash back out to your Bitcoin. So this is a very big evolution, I think, from the pump.fun-esque tokens, because ultimately the things you're left with are always going to be backed by sats. They're always going to have some tangible value anyway. So for me, it's amazing. It's amazing because it's given runes a breath of fresh air, which the space definitely needed. I mean, people say runes are dead, but runes aren't even a fucking year old. They haven't even had a chance to live yet. So this is a first implementation. It's like bricks. Someone complaining that that pile of bricks over there is a pile of bricks, and yet it could be a house. We need the cement. We need the other things to pull it all together to make this thing work. And that's what Bob's done so well. He's leveraging ICP in a very clever way to be able to deliver that instantaneous degen mode that we all love, that we all want on Bitcoin, but haven't been able to do if we were confined to the realms of purely L1 BTC. And at the end of the day, I've said it so many times, blockchain is back-end infrastructure. There's no need for us to know anything about it. As a Web2 user, they especially have no need to know what's going on under the hood. If I ask anyone, how does your iPhone work? They have no fucking idea how anything works under the hood. They can switch it on and restart it and do that kind of stuff, but they couldn't do anything deeper than that. And they don't need to, because ultimately they're a user, they're a consumer. And that's the model that needs to work. We don't need to expect people to know everything about Bitcoin to use Bitcoin. We need people to just do the thing that they want to do and come and do it over here. And so that's what I think Bob's doing so well with Odin.fun.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And this has been kind of this thesis or idea that I think makes a lot of sense. And that's the way that Bitcoin is currently structured with its tech stack and its limitations. It's almost like these other chains that have good tech and can do the computation. Are looking for reasons to exist, right? Like, I know there's more deeper things than just to serve Bitcoin assets, but really, you see ICP working right away. There's also something from the Near ecosystem that's going to be, Near is going to be able to leverage and service these Bitcoin layer 1 assets. You see it with the EVM side. So I kind of think this is what some of these chains that might not be, trying to look for a purpose, and they're finding it. Like ICP's finding it right now. It's hitting its stride with Odin. So I love this. I think it's amazing, and you obviously do too, because you built a product around it. And if we could get into that a bit, with Pep Odin's, where did that idea come from, and what made you decide to make that move?
So it had to be done. I suppose is probably the quickest answer. So what we saw with an emergence of a new scene, a new subculture, if you will, so there's some new popularity, was nascent tech that's just waiting for tooling. And this is where we're in our element. Rapid prototyping with emerging tech is what we cannot get enough of. And so we spent a few months building some really sophisticated bots for Solana to help us try and get that unfair edge. But the issue is Solana is a very saturated market with a lot of competition. And so even with the best of the best tools that we had, it's still an uphill battle to get the sorts of returns that you'd be happy with, or to be able to identify rugs as they get more and more sophisticated and people figure out all these sorts of clever ways of tricking methods of hiding if they're nefarious actors or not. And so it became increasingly more difficult to get that edge, effectively, to get that alpha. But then, lo and behold, a whole new ecosystem emerges, but an ecosystem without that tooling that exists everywhere else. Just like we saw with the birth of Ordinals, we needed all the tooling to create marketplaces and launchpads and tools and Natrico and all of these things so that we could use them like consumers would want to use NFTs on Bitcoin. We're going through that exact same sort of transition. And so to me, this was a moment of opportunity where we built some really clever tech, and we now have some awesome tech that is nowhere near as complex as the shit we've just been building for, due to its early stage. And so immediately we came in and we started rewriting a lot of the bots that we've been building for Sol to start dialing into ICP, to start checking out loads and loads and loads of different data sources to be able to give us the edge. The edge in saying, is this a rug? Is this a potential runner? Has this been launched by individuals who may have sort of done a few shady things in the past? A whole bunch of, I don't want to go too much into the ins and outs of it, but we have a lot going on under the hood that is viewable in a few places, primarily on this website. I mean, if you click on any one of those tokens, not the name, but just the line that they're in, it'll open up some the most recent sort of trading activity behind it with the username. Just we're continuing to add to this. We're adding more filters so you can start filtering things through. But the idea here is to present to you a streamlined version of what you can see on Odin.fun, which can be a little overwhelming sometimes. You can, of course, sort them and sort of, I like sort of sorting things by age, checking out the youngest, the newest tokens, and then seeing what's happening on them, seeing how many heads, how many comments, and checking out socials. And so it's a nice, quick way to just keep an eye on what's happening as a website. Now, the website itself, however, will link you to the Telegram. If you see the Telegram icon on the over there, yeah, that is where the magic happens. So inside that Telegram is, again, currently all of these tools are free to use. At this moment, they will be token gated for Pepodin holders at a point in the future. But for now, everything's all free and open, and everyone's got all access. So the website is but one way, but the Telegram is where the community is growing. We have maybe 600-700 members, I think, now inside that Telegram group, and these people are ravenous when it comes to finding alpha. We have two separate Telegram channels. One is the communications channel, if you will, and one is the signals channel. The signals channel, perhaps if you're not, or if you're able to open up the Telegram, I can walk you through a few of the signals and how they work, just so you can get an idea of what sort of alpha people getting in the server. But ultimately, it's been wild. We've had everything from a lot of 2x's, 3x's, 5x's. We even had our first 100x yesterday. It called this Super X at 27,000, and that went up to about 2 point something million. It was pretty fascinating. So within here, this is the general shit talking channel, I suppose, where everyone's talking to everyone. They're picking brains. They're talking to other founders. They're saying, "Hey, this founder just launched a token," and then we just ping that founder who's in the in the chat. And they say, "No, that wasn't me. It's a rug." And they're like, "Great, how better to verify than just asking the founders that are in the fucking communities?" And so we have this really strong, bustling group of individuals who are taking pride in trying to find the best alpha, or at least doing their due diligence on alpha that's shared, which in turn is helping us build better tooling. And so if you type in any token name, any token address, it'll give you a bit of an outline. But the real alpha, the tickers, the analytics comes into the other server, which is, if you click on no, it is quite a let me just send it over. There we go.
Put it in the private chat.
I'll put it in the public chat. How about that? Just so anyone can access. So you should be able to see it in there.
Oh,
cool. So this is the channel where the calls come through. And so effectively, we're looking at all sorts of different data. And this will then, when we detect things we find interesting, they will fall into certain categories. For instance, early Raven. This means it's a potential early runner. We're looking at all sorts of things. For instance, what's the market cap? $9,000 is when it was called. That was at a point where there was, let's see, 19 holders. The top 10 holders only, well, they own 31%. It's not that good in my opinion. Bundled, doesn't look like it's been bundled. Here are the names who have the largest supplies, the top 3 holders, how many buys, how many sells, and links to, again, any socials that are provided and links directly to Odin.fun. And so the idea here is effectively being able to try and distill down the huge amount of noise that's out there to give you through signals that actually could be interesting. Beyond the early Ravens, we also have low runners, which are effectively tokens that have done very well and may have dipped with a view that you might be able to jump in. Now, this isn't meant to be a money-making machine by any stretch of the imagination. This is not flawless. Everyone needs to do their own due diligence when using tools like these. But just to be able to identify and point out, look, this has obviously been bundled, and this has been bundled quite a bit, or this has been launched by an individual that's not necessarily known to be that filled with integrity. It helps educate people and gives them that edge that hopefully they're going to need as the space continues to grow. So, I mean, these are all the calls that come through, and there you go, I don't know, 20, 30, 40, 50 a day, depending on how busy the day is. And I mean, this has only been live for about a week, and we had this meteoric rise from bonding within a few hours of launching to being, I think, in the top 10 tokens on Odin.fun now. So it has been a lot of fun, but a huge amount of blood, sweat, and tears have gone into providing these tools to people and then making sure that they're, most importantly, having fun. Because without this, again, it just feels like boring old soul. And if you're having fun and making money and sometimes losing money, it's not the end of the world. But, for me, fun is the most important part of Web3.
Yeah, this is awesome. Go on.
I was just gonna say, I like that. I like that. There's kind of like a tool set here, right? You have the website, and then you have the kind of congregation Telegram with everybody talking about, hey, what do you guys think? That's the human part of it. Then you have the signals Telegram, right? So, like, I mean, I don't know, like, you have a whole arsenal here. And I know it's early days, and I assume that you guys are continually going to be adding to these tools. Is that correct?
Absolutely. So again, what you're seeing now is what we put together in the space of a very short amount of time, but we're in this for the long run. We have fairly decent ambitions to become the de facto tools for the Odin platform. We've already partnered with Bliffy, with Sparks. We've now started doing collabs with Based Angels, with Taproot Alpha. So we're working through the great communities to help spread the word and teach people how to sort of be a little safer when degenerating on these new platforms. There is another thing there is left to show, which we can even try and do a live demo. We haven't actually tried this yet, but you are going to need to do. I'm going to need an email address. So if you have an email address you're comfortable typing in on camera, then we can do this.
We can do it. It's just it's contact@onchainrevolution.io.
All right, give me 2 minutes. Let me try something.
I can actually put it in the private for you if that helps.
Thank you. Yeah, go on. And we're going to try something. So if you can go, this is something that this is the first time we're announcing this. So let's see how it goes for a live demo. But if you go to create.
Yeah, you put dot Shizzy, it's at.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So just fix that. Go ahead. Sorry, Snoop.
No, worries at all. Let me just get this running myself. There we go. What we've been working on is, in the meantime, while I get this set up, because I need to issue some credits. If you want to go to the Pepodin Twitter account and have a look at the media page, we'll just scroll down and see some of the GIFs, some of the videos that have been pushed out recently.
He's talking about the actual X account.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you go to the X account and go to Pep Odin, I actually was gonna. That was one of my questions that I was gonna ask you because that is that AI.
That is indeed AI.
Dude, that AI video, generative video, is insanely good. That is really good, man. I'm impressed, and I remember you had an AI product before. Is this a part of this?
My friends, this is where things start to get even more entertaining. So, I have now given you 10 credits. What I'd like you to do is, having seen some of these cool videos, if you scroll down, we'll show the audience just how good some of these are.
That's one of them right there. That's awesome.
The Taproot Alpha collab is a lovely one. But have a scroll down there. There's absolutely countless of them.
These are so cool.
There's a lot of fun. Viking Pepes. Viking Pepe on the moon. Now, as you've seen,
so good.
Thank you. Now, we love AI. As I said, I've run an AI platform for over 2.5 years. It's a free-to-use platform for the space, all trained on canonical models on various different IP projects. And so we started with images, we evolved from images to comic books, and then from comic books into video, the natural progression of storytelling. And so what we have is been working on some very sophisticated tools, and we now have Pepodins.com. And if you want to head over there, we're going to try something live and let's see what happens.
It's create.pepodins.com.
Exactly.
All right, let me pull that up.
And guys, I'll have all the links and everything in the show notes for you guys when this is all done, so you guys can just go down to the below and click the links. But this is create.pepodins.com.
Lovely. And while you're on the Twitter, let's just go into Grok quickly and let's just generate an image, a starting image that we're going to use. So just click on Grok on the left-hand side, and then on Twitter, and let's just say generate, draw a Viking Pepe frog warrior, at McDonald's, anything you like. Let's just generate a quick image that we're going to use as the starting piece for this video.
Let's go on a roller coaster. See what that brings. Oh shit.
I love it. So you now have your starting image. So let's go, and once that image on the left is loaded up, I'd say just download that image. So I think little download button. There we go. Perfect. Okay, cool. So go over to the create.pepodins.com page.
All right, grab it. All right.
And now upload the image.
All right.
Awesome. And then type in a prompt, Viking Pepe on a roller coaster, moving fast, anything you like. You can get creative with your prompts.
Let's go crying. I think that'll be fun. And yelling. All right, crying and yelling. I think we're all crying and yelling at this point in the cycle.
Always deep down. And then here, just below, you want to type in that email address, contact at OnChain Revolution.
Revolution.io.
Indeed.
All right.
And then you can check the credits. I've already applied them to your account, so you should have some credits on it already. Great. So now just click Create Animation. So now, you've got to bear in mind, this is going to take 5 to 6 minutes to create this animation. It's not a quick thing. So effectively, you're going to receive 2 emails. An email confirming that the animation process has started, and then an email confirming it's finished with a link to the video. You can also close this little modal, this little pop-up, and if you scroll up to the top of the page, you will see My Animations. And if you just click View My Animations, then you'll see this thing is processing currently. So you can come back and see your library of stuff that you've already generated so far. But in 5 minutes, 4 minutes, thereabouts, we're going to have a funky video. And now this is the technology that we've used for every single one of those videos. And every single one of those videos has been created with one prompt for first try, based off of an image that we've already provided. But it does fun stuff. We gave it a Wizard Award, some pixel art, and it came out beautifully. It's a very compelling and powerful tool for creating very short form video content. So it's another tool that within our arsenal of tools, we're giving out to members to mess around with so that they can start creating cool content, hopefully to help promote our project, but certainly if not, other founders are welcome to use it for their own projects. This is just meant to be a cool tool that's meant to draw people into this space. So we want to help people on not only the community building, not only the protection, but also on the content, the user generation content aspect. And hopefully just build together a great community of individuals that just like doing cool stuff.
Yeah, I love
phenomenal.
it. Yep, I love it. I love it. So I want to come back to the Pep Odin site because I feel like this is definitely what a lot of people are, excited about as well. Like with the, the alpha and all that stuff. Obviously, you're getting partnership, announcements and stuff. Okay, so we know that there's going to be, like, I think the Bitcoin ecosystem is going to look very different in 6 months, right? Like we have Odin.fun right now. We're about to have RuneShot that's going to do something similar, but they're leveraging Near protocol to do it instead of ICP. There might be something else. There's going to be another thing with Arch Network. Could you see Pep Odin's kind of be like the GMGN of this kind of Bitcoin ecosystem, to where you see, like, you guys are saying what's hot on, like, different, you can switch to different chains or different ecosystems, or are you just trying to kind of build within, like, the Odin ICP Bitcoin kind of tech stack only?
At the moment, we want to focus on doing one thing very well in this area.
Gotcha.
Doing too much too quickly is dangerous. And so again, everything that we do, although you may see me doing a bunch of stuff, they're all systematically tied together quite deeply in some way, shape, or form. They will benefit another one somehow. An operating system for a games console. This thing, they all sort of, all roads lead back to the consumer product ultimately we're bringing to market. And so, yeah, I mean, really what we need to do now is we've identified what we think is a winner. We think that Bob is one of the few people who managed to take layer 1 Bitcoin and then do something with it where people are making money that is not purely layer 1. And that is a very cool step in the right direction. Moving away from this tribalism, maxism towards building products that consumers want. So to me, yeah, the landscape will change massively, but first move advantage in the crypto space is very important. And Odin.fun have done such a great job at laying that foundation down that people are going to have to do very fucking well to surpass them. So yeah, there are definitely other people out there. But, at the end of the day, it depends how quickly you're able to, build and iterate and, just sort of keep being the industry leader. And this is what they've done so well.
Gotcha. Yeah, it makes complete sense.
So I have a few questions that maybe someone new to the site, just coming here for the first time, really doesn't know how to enable it, right? So right now, obviously, you have market cap right? You have
Yep.
age, which basically means like how long ago was this token created. You have bond, which means it hit the bonding curve or didn't. Could you explain what hits is? Because this was a question
Yeah.
that I had in the beginning.
Yeah, just how many buys you've had recently. So effectively, how many times have people been sort of hitting this and picking up? So you'll see sort of more popular ones as they're flashing. That's another hit coming through.
Is this
So it could
buys
be a
and
buy, it
sells?
could be a sell. Yeah,
Okay. And
exactly.
is this the last like 5 minutes or 10 minutes or?
Depends on how they're sorting. So this is a live feed.
Okay.
Now, if you were to click on any one of them, not on the word of the title, but exactly just on there, you'll see what's happening in them.
Okay.
So effectively, that's going to give you the insight into what's happening sort of fairly frequently. Now, the few things I'd like to point out on things you should look out for are socials, most importantly. We'll always show whatever socials they make available to us or we're able to put together. But a big thing that people can do on Odin.fun is just link any Twitter account. There's no have to verify or anything. It's just, hey, here's a link to a Twitter account. Now, the thing that you should always do before aping into anything is if there is a Twitter account, check the Twitter account. If it's a Twitter link to just a random tweet that has no mention or reference to the project in any way, shape, or form, it's probably a rug. Or it's a meme, and how strong is that meme? Do you believe in it enough? If it's meant to be belonging to a project, check. And if it leads back to a project that's a sole project and has no mention of Odin.fun, probably a rug. There are little things that you should look at, and this is why these links are here, is so that there is a level of looking that we simply can't do programmatically, that we need people to just look at themselves and have a bit of a brain to understand what they're looking at. So we try and simplify that info for them as much as we can by presenting them as much info as we can in an easy to digest way. So again, like if you were to go and sort by age, for instance, and then you're sort of sorting by which is the newest ones made, you're scrolling down, you're starting to look at, market cap, well, Rect, that's an interesting one that's only just been listed, but it's got, how many, scroll up to the very top.
Up here? Oh, okay, Rect.
There we go. So that's what I'm saying. So like if you click on Rect, that will then open up on Odin.fun on the actual word Rect. Just on
the actual word Rect. Okay, I got you.
Indeed. So now you'd basically have a slightly deeper dive. You'd say, right, you'd scroll down, you'd look at the holders. So if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see, right, so the biggest holder is the dev with 5%. It's not too bad. Based is in there. He's a known person. That seems like an interesting buy to me. I would probably throw $50 into that and see what would happen. So to me, this is a manual version of doing what our bots are basically doing automatically. So the website is lovely, don't get me wrong. We're adding a whole bunch of new filters over the next couple of days as well. But the Telegram is where most of the alpha is shared, and I think the fastest responses you're going to get, because it's not you making assumptions. You're in there with a group of a bunch of other people, all probably looking at the same thing, who may be looking at different things. So ultimately, you're like, oh shit, look at this. And everyone looks at it and they're like, oh, it's a rug. It's not a rug. And you quickly get input from 5, 6, 10, 20 different people. And with hyped runes being dropped soon, these servers that get rather busy. And so you do have a lot of eyes out there, which can be very, very useful, because again, it's sort of a collective conscience that can give you good input that you don't necessarily know, or you don't just have to rely on a gut feeling yourself. So it's really fascinating stuff.
Yeah, man, it's phenomenal. I have one more question about the site. So obviously hits, and you got 5 minutes, 1 minute, 6 minutes, 6 hours, 1 day. What is C?
Comments. So how many comments are there?
Comments. Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Okay, that's awesome. That's actually a big indicator for more people really understand, because the comments, it actually takes a few seconds. You can't just spam the comments. You have to own the token, and you have to you have to wait between. So yeah, the comments could actually be a pretty big indicator that I didn't even think about.
Dude, it's funny you say that, because the comments themselves, like when Pepodin was popping off, we were having all sorts of funny people in the comments, and it reminded me again of like very early Discord days when it was just one channel. It wasn't a very complicated server with 1,000,001 places for people to talk to. It was just, one place and everyone just shit talking each other. And I was in stitches for a while. You might need to refresh the page. Should be done by now, I'm guessing. So yeah, that was like, that made me laugh so much.
Oh,
There we
that
go.
is so cool.
Now, one thing that we found with these, that we're still going to be doing a few more tweaks. So we're basically doing looping. So ultimately, it'll play it forwards and backwards, or you can choose to play it in reverse. So there's a few little things that sometimes videos made in AI are actually better played in reverse than they are forwards, like you can now see. So ultimately, if you check your email, you will be given a link that will take you to a different page. Or if you scroll down a little bit, actually, you should see a few different options. You can download, copy, share on Twitter, share on Discord. And so we're going to keep adding to that. But ultimately, yeah, I'm glad that works because this tool is live and available for anyone to fuck around with at the moment. All they have to do is come into the Discord and request some credits and DM me their email address so I can issue them some free credits.
That's so awesome. Because, like, like marketing for memes isn't like, the easiest to be able to find graphics and videos and stuff. But with this, I mean, you can, this helps a lot. So,
dude, everyone, like, again, I love bootstrapping from startups. Like, I hate having to spend unnecessarily when we have so many amazing tools and open source technology available to us. And so we're here on Twitter most of the time, which means we all have access to Grog. And I just showed you how quick and easy it is to make a Viking Pepe in Grog.
Yeah.
And then how quick and easy it is to take that Viking Pepe and drop it into that create.pepodins.com and then come out with fucking that. Like, you'd have to pay someone thousands of dollars to make that 2 years ago. And now you do it for free in the click of 3 buttons. This is the sort of tools that we want to empower the communities with so that they're out there becoming a content creation army for us too.
awesome. So the last thing that I have is, obviously there is a Pep Odin, Odin.fund token out there, and you mentioned a little bit about a future token gated and stuff like that. Is that going to be the main utility behind it?
Yes. So ultimately, access to this ever-evolving suite of tools will be sort of the utility for holding this. Now, this is still a meme coin on a meme coin platform, but nonetheless, just because we like making memes and tools that make memes doesn't mean we can't educate people and sort of do cool stuff. So you will need to hold Pepodins to be able to access this tool when we do token gate them. Much like, if you hold 15 based angels, you'll also be able to get access to some of these tools. So we do a few collabs with a few different people, a few different projects out there. And we have a few more rolling out over the next few days as well, like the Honey Badgers and a couple of others that are sort of good people in the space that like hunting down alpha. So really the view is, we're giving people the sort of the free taster now to show them what can be done with these tools, with these technologies, make sure that Odin.fund sticks around long enough. And then from there, it's like, to us, we just like building fast and experimenting. And when you're in one of these new spaces, this is like, experimentation can be really quite interesting because everyone wants to experiment and nothing's been done before. So yeah, it really is one of these wonderful times in emerging tech where it's just popped off and all of the tooling and infrastructure now needs to be redeveloped that we've seen on Sol, we've seen on the ETH, and there's just a whole new ecosystem that needs to be built for. So it's action stations all over again.
Love it. This has been really awesome, man. I'm so glad you're building on Odin, right? Like Odin really needs as much help as it can get right now. It's such an infant, right? And then the last couple of days, it's gone down because of the indexer issue and stuff like that. So it's really cool to kind of see,
bullish,
especially
man.
OGs. Yeah,
It's
it
all
is really
bullish.
bullish.
Like when things break, it's like break under load. That to me is the most bullish sign. When things don't break, it's because there probably isn't enough stress being put on them, and they haven't been stress tested enough. And so to me, like, being able to overcome these issues as a nascent platform, it means you're setting yourself up for success. Like, think of all of the biggest launches, every giga sale, everything that's ever done very well has always had teething problems when it launches. And that to me is a really bullish sign because it means you either sink or swim. And I don't think Bob's going to sink. So ultimately, I know it's again, like, I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. And I do think that the addressable market that Bob needs to be focusing on is bringing Sol users into Bitcoin because they've had enough of getting rugged on Sol, and so now they're sat there, and if they can be said, hey, come and have that same experience, but this time you're not left with some bullshit shitcoins, you're left with some actual runes or some sats, things that you can cash out regardless of what happens at the end. This is just another added benefit. And so to me, onboarding with Sol and offboarding with Sol, just as you can with Bitcoin, is a missing ingredient because that's orders of magnitude more liquidity available to people on Sol than there is on Bitcoin runes.
Love it, man. Well, really appreciate you taking the time out to come on and kind of educate our audience on everything that's going on, man. Would love to give you maybe a few last words to our audience before we let you go.
Thank you very much. Well, I mean, I'd say first and foremost, hop into the Telegram if you're interested in Odin.fun. I will always take the opportunity to say we are now about to ship developer kits to the games console we're building with NVIDIA. So if you're interested in VR, AR, XR, the umbrella term for both, or AI or Web3 in any way, shape, or form, shoot us a message and request a dev kit, because they don't cost much and they're only going to be in a short supply. So get that request form in now if you haven't done so. Go to curvereality.com so you can request a dev kit. Otherwise, pepodins.com to start degenning and having some fun.
Awesome. Love it, love it, love
Yeah,
it.
great.
Well, Snoop Toshi, as always, it's been a pleasure, and we can't wait till the next time we get to hang and talk about what you're going to build next. Obviously, it's probably going to be something that's connected to this, and that's really exciting, and we can't wait to have you on again.
Lovely. Thank you ever so much for having me. It's always a pleasure, gentlemen. I'm looking forward to our next one.
Awesome.
Thanks, Snoop.
All right, bye.
Another amazing interview, man. Snoop Toshi, absolute legend in the space, absolute, Bitcoiner, right? And then now he's building again, using the ICP and using Bob's APIs, right? And really kind of pushing Odin.fun to tools. I mean, we need tools, we need alpha chats. I feel like he's at the right place at the right time to really kind of help people, right? Because that's what he's doing. At the end of the day, yeah, obviously as a token, and they want the token to go up, and obviously, right? But in reality, though, he's giving you a tool, he's giving you a place to go and find alpha without even, right now anyway, without even having to go buy that token.
Yeah, exactly. Which is smart. You got to do that. You got to get people to utilize, test out your product, talk good about it afterwards, which is what's happening right now. And so I'm excited to see, what happens with Pep Odin's, the token I'm in as well. But, that's just obviously for fun. But the product itself, because I think that like the platform and kind of like this product suite too, which is awesome that he's rolled like the AI still into
Yeah.
it. I would love if you could get like a certain amount of credits every month holding this token, because I would utilize that, for meme. I love to create memes, right? So super exciting. And this is kind of one of the first tools this is the first tool really for Odin. We'll see what happens and how this evolves as an ecosystem as well.
Yeah, man. Yep. Let's roll it.
All right, let's do it. All right, guys, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us for about 40 minutes here. If you wouldn't mind checking out our partners, we greatly appreciate it. It helps us out. And so Emblem Vault is going to be the interoperability tool for all ordinals. You're going to be able to vault your ordinals and jump them to Abstract, to Merlin, Bitcoin Layer 2, to Arbitrum, to Base, and that's going to be just the first round. They're going to also have ordinals in different ecosystems like Solana in the future as well. And they also have their AI Bitcoin wallet tool, Agent Hustle, that you can prompt to actually do the vaulting for you, so you don't have to go and manually do it, as well as just maybe make some Bitcoin transactions for you. Maybe in the future, maybe some Odin transactions. We'll see, right?
Yeah.
But super exciting stuff. And don't forget, they also have a rune that they're going to have a TGE in September of this year for. You can learn about all this at emblem.vision. And then BetBTC is the predictions marketplace for the Bitcoin ecosystem. All you need is an Xverse wallet, some Bitcoin, and 6 blocks, and you can start placing bets on their markets right away. They have a 10-minute market new platform, or new markets that are 10-minute markets on their platform. So where you can take long or short for Bitcoin, BNB, Solana. It's really fun, and you get paid out right after in 10 minutes. So it's really, really fun, exciting. You can also create your own markets in the near future, and you can earn up to 1.5% on the total volume with that. You can learn about all this at betbtc.win. And then Artura Finance, gotta get used to that new rebranding, which I love, is the perps and leverage decks of the Bitcoin ecosystem. You can place long and short positions on their platform for Bitcoin synthetic assets like Dog of the Moon, Ordi, SAT, stuff like that, but also stuff outside of the Bitcoin ecosystem like Trump token or Pepe. It's going to be really exciting once they're on mainnet very, very soon. And you can visit artura.finance to learn more. Fluid tokens, they are the first to offer staking vaults on Bitcoin layer 1. They just wrapped up their Dog of the Moon staking vault. It's locked up to where you can't stake right now, but they'll have more staking in the future as well. But it opens on the week of the Bitcoin conference this year. It's perfect timing, in my opinion. I think Dog probably would be running high during that time. But if you are a Ordinal founder or you etched a rune and you have an established community, you can have your own staking vault on Fluid. You just got to reach out to Raul, the CTO, and he'll get you set up. You can learn about all that at fluidtokens.com. And Merlin Chain, your #1 scaling solution for Bitcoin native L1 assets and protocols. If you have a protocol on Bitcoin layer 1 and you want your protocol to be a bit quicker, faster, seamless, you can apply for a builder's grant with Merlin Chain. A couple of our partners got into that program, so it's definitely possible. If you are a retail user, you can swap for something like Dog to the Moon over on merlinswap.org. Also, Merlin Chain has right now a proof of stake to secure the chain staking available if you hold Merlin token, and you can earn 15% APR. So make sure you're taking advantage of that. You can learn about that at merlinchain.io. And don't forget about our integrated partners in Foxy AI, building the metaverse on Bitcoin called the Bitverse, and their first-person shooter game, which we typically will stream, and we'll let you guys know the next time we do. It's called Clan Wars. Very fun, guys. And then Ordinal Hive is the aggregator Ordinal marketplace on Bitcoin layer 1 and layer 2, cheapest Ordinals around on Ordinal Hive. And thank you guys so much for supporting us and checking out our partners.
Yep. Great job, man. And if you guys have a few more minutes and wouldn't mind checking out onchainrevolution.io, it's our brand new site. Please, if you have the second, just go to it. Check out our articles. We have some of the best articles in all the crypto. You can actually get, onboard people using this link. If they can come here and they can, really get caught up to where we are today, guys. This is a big deal. Use the information that's available, and we have some of the best articles. So definitely check out everything here. If you guys need a VPN, everyone should really use a VPN, right? You shouldn't really go to websites without a VPN. If it's not Nord, go get a free one. There's free ones out there, but Nord is the best because you can actually you can go to like Switzerland and El Salvador, right? That's where you can put your IP address, and that's kind of what I do. That's the two that I use. I love it. I have it on every device. You need just one account, every device. And it's like $3 a month. If you use our link here, 70% off coupon. It's like, I think I'm paying like $3 a month. I paid for the year, so I don't even have to think about it no more. I have that VPN. If you guys need tickets to Bitcoin 2025 Las Vegas, we have them right here. Don't wait till May to get your tickets, guys. Get them as soon as possible because they actually go up every Friday. It seems like. I don't know if it is, but every time I check it, the prices are more and more expensive. It's all about supply and demand. And right now, there's a lot more supply than demand. So get them as soon as possible. And if you try to get them in May, you're going to be paying almost triple the price than what you're paying right now. And probably 9 times the price that you paid a few months ago. So when the next Bitcoin conference comes up, use our site, get them as soon as possible. You'll probably be paying pennies. So on the dollar anyway for this. So definitely check out everything here at onchainrevolution.com. And if you need merch for that event or any event, we have it all here. Click our store tab. That'll take you to our Shopify where you guys can use our third party where we supply all the logos and everything to them. So check everything out onchainrevolution.com. And guys, we are live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 4 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys. And until tomorrow, peace.
OnChain revolution roll call. Market recap. You not bullish enough, no. You're not bullish enough, no. Look at the price go. Bitcoin control. Why you still coping? Price action rolling. Don't fall for bear trap. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How did the market react? Fear and greed gotta die. Now we bridging the tokens and marching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction. OnChain revolution.